Hey fellas, Rusty coming at you. Today we're going to take a look at another Winchester black box knife. So I do have a video out that introduces these and talks about this, how special they are. And they truly are, in my opinion, special. One of the things is the bone, and it's called old bone and or Rogers bone. And in 2004, this bone would be between about 95 and or 115 years old. So it's a Serpentine Teardrop jack, and it has this, hopefully you can see, serpentine, sort of like a snake. It has the S pattern, and the teardrop, it has to come, and a lot of people might call that the bullet, like a bullet end. Very great build quality, and we'll talk about the action and so on in just a second. Highly polished, mirror finished blades, and it's tough to catch them on camera because look at that, it just changes the reflection here and or the light. These were built, there's a whole story which I won't get into here, but it was built on the original Winchester equipment using the old-time methods, which included making these small pins, hand hammering those, and pinning the shield. So the shield is pinned on, not glued on. So, okay, well, let's take a quick peek. You're going to kind of see the snap here. And the action. All right, so these were built by Queen Cutlery when a fellow by the name of Bill Howard was there, and this would be a spear point blade. You can kind of see, hopefully, how that the ergos are working on this knife. Okay, let's get see if we get 2857 and built in 1987. And all the way up to 1989 is when you could get the old bone. So this would have definitely fell into that period. This one, there's your blade etch. It says Winchester trademark, half stop. And there's your tang stamp, Winchester trademark, made in the USA. Okay, and there's the blade centering, maybe a little bit to the show side here. Looks pretty good there, and very stylish. So I'm not 100% sure. These are authentic reproduction knives in the sense that they went and got the original equipment and even some of the original bone. And I don't know if you're going to find this pattern being made in the 1920s, but I do know that sometimes you will. I will see some of these patterns, the patterns out of the black box series. I'll take a peek. Now I have cleaned this up with some case paste and wick wax, and just fantastic build quality. So, okay, let's do this. That's a strong 6. You can hear the walk and talk. And now, this is a wrestling match. All right, and there is a tang stamp. So this thing's like a 9.5 pull. You got to grab her here. Ooh, and she's tough. There's your tang stamp. Very strong spring here. And as far as a pen blade goes, it has a bit of a interesting blade grind. It's almost just like a, you know, it's so shallow, it gets thick. So, but with that strong spring, I mean, this thing you could pierce, and or you know, it's a nice a replacement for your Warncliffe blade. Let's watch this. Strong, very strong. Okay, so I'm just, because I'm bringing out 2 of them. I bought both of these for under $70, and they have 1095 steel, the old bone, and you know, I love me a mini trapper, and I've been using this one, and it is much easier. So it was tough. I swear, I used to struggle with that, and you just oil it up and you will work it in. This particular one I use because the blade etch is not quite as good as the other one. It's a little more faded. I do like the bone a little better. And then you guys think they look the same. This bone seems to get a little thin in this area. One on one of them. This bone doesn't dip right there, but yeah. So let's keep out the fancy one for some comparisons. Okay, so you may know, if you guys watch me, I like me a mini trapper. And one that I carry a lot is from the American Workman series, and it is this case in red Delrin and the Stars and Stripes shield, I want to say that is. So when we compare the action, much easier. Still snappy, but it's just easier. So let's bring this back out though. They do have these mini trappers, you may or may not know, have a bit of a serpentine. They go the other way. They go up and then down. And we'll just compare this. And this one goes from down to up, or down to up. So let's just compare build quality. One thing I credit Case for a lot of times is their polish and the back fit, the springs. In this case, we have somebody that can compete. And yeah, I know we're doing a bone handled to just a synthetic, but this one will run you $56. Shop for one of these, see if you can pick it up for 70, and hope that you don't find yourself needing this blade that much. It is useful, and you'll definitely have a little class. This is definitely a workman knife. I can see if you're electrician, plumber, construction guy, going with that synthetic handle. But if you want to be, and I shouldn't stereotype like that, if you want a good pocket knife that has a little more conversation piece, carbon steel, you know, you can get the draw cutting done. Of course, I do love me this. And then I feel, maybe I'm just used to this. And like I said, I have been carrying this more. All right, one last knife, we'll call this one the Easter egg. So this to show you would like you guys to identify, and this is how you know it's queen. Take a look at Queen Canoes, Queen Sunfishes out of this here, Shot and Morgan. Basically, in my mind, this is a Shot and Morgan when they were made by Queen. I'm calling this a spear point. So I'm open to that. And one of my other favorite pocket knives, and so I highly recommend these. And you guys have seen this. I did a little traveling knife, other channels showed off the Rough Rider Teardrop Jack. It's a single bladed knife. Does not have carbon steel. But when it comes to pocket knife, it is, for me, ergos are great, and the action is fantastic. Hear that walk and talk? Like that. Boom, baby. Let's see. Check this out. Okay. Not as quite as much, but let's go here. If I can do this. If you guys are still with me. Strong springs. Woo! All right. Well, let's be done for the day. Thanks for joining me. Look for more of these Winchester black box knives. I'm trying to run this series consecutively, so you'll have the video before this and the video after this. Thanks, guys.